Alrighty, YouTube. Hello and welcome back. My nose is a little bit plugged, so I am sorry if my voice sounds different than usual. But I want to go over this quickly, and I want to give some suggestions that I think Trump should really do in the near future. So, the Alabama governor, Robert Bentley, resigns. That is the name of the article. Alabama Governor Robert Bentley resigned Monday in the face of impeachment hearings over allegations that he tapped state resources to facilitate and hide an extramarital affair with a former aide. This happens a lot. There are many people who work in Congress who have positions of authority that portray themselves in a benevolent manner, but really they have secrets. They do things that may be illegal. They do things that may be morally questionable. This is no surprise. Look at Anthony Weiner, for example. He is the one of many excuses that we can point to really give credence to this kind of example. And the Alabama governor, Robert Bentley, is just another one of these kinds of people. And the kinds of people I'm talking about are those who think because they have a position of power, they can do things that are morally reprehensible and get away with it. And they can abuse their position to try to cover up their illicit or morally questionable activities. This happens all the time. As an example here, Warren Harding and Calvin Coolidge. Warren Harding was the president in the 1920s. Calvin Coolidge was his VP. Warren Harding was infamous for being corrupt. He had corrupt friends, he had corrupt staff, and he helped them out by using crony capitalism. He may have done good with the economy, but when it comes down to it, he was a corrupt presidential official. And Calvin Coolidge wasn't. After Warren Harding died, he died by getting sick at a rally. He got a cold at a rally and died some months later. Calvin Coolidge was promoted to the president of the United States. And there was a lot of distrust in the presidency during that time, especially as more of Warren Harding's secret lies and his secret affairs began to come out. So what Calvin Coolidge did to try to bring back trust into the government, to try to bring back integrity to the presidency, he hired two special prosecutors, one Republican and one Democrat, to look into the alleged financial and corrupt dealings of Warren Harding. And one of the members of Warren Harding's staff refused to discuss his position with the special prosecutors. So Calvin Coolidge, instead of saying, all right, you know what, I trust you, he fired that individual. He fired that individual because he wanted an office, he wanted an administration that was looked upon with deference because people respected their opinion, because people believed them. People had trust in them. And what that did, that helped solidify Calvin Coolidge of an honest individual with integrity. I think Trump needs to institute something similar. I think Trump should start an ethics probe. And that ethics probe should be designed specifically for members of Congress and people in high-power federal positions. I don't expect the probe to go over all government officials because there are 21 million government jobs in the U.S. But definitely Congress, because it's not unreasonable to assume that there are members of Congress who receive money from special interests and from lobbyists for nefarious reasons. And they might not report all of it to the tax authorities. They may report some of it, but if they get a briefcase full of $10,000, they probably won't report it. Now, I'm not saying that there are members of Congress who do this, but it's possible. And with Washington being so corrupt and the Washington establishment wanting a foothold in every single policy that goes on, I think Trump would be wise to really promote two special prosecutors to look into this type of behavior, and then fire or press charges on whoever is reported to have been breaking the law or have been portraying themselves and behaving themselves in a nefarious manner. I think this will go a long way for Trump, and it would help earn the respect of people on the left. as well as people on the right. It's just reasonable to assume that there are many corrupt politicians in the world, and Trump could use an ethics probe to really help differentiate the good and the bad, and he could remove the bad from office, and that would truly be draining the swamp. Draining the swamp doesn't mean get every politician that's been there forever out of office, because there are some politicians who have been there decades that are actually good, that actually fight for the rights of their constituents. So what he should do is look at the insidious behaviors, look at the possible criminal, illicit activities that some of these congressmen and senators may be wrapped up in. And I think this will go a long way. And while he's at it too, I mean, there hasn't really been much police shootings around that involved race-related incidents. But if that starts to pick up again, he should also get an ethics probe going into the separate police law enforcement communities. That will help garner support from those who don't trust the police as well. And they will look at Trump as a respectable man because he is going the extra mile to make sure we have honest politicians and that we have honest policemen, that we have honest people that want to do good. And I think that's imperative. And I think that will really help solidify Trump as a true, honest president with much, much integrity. Once again, I apologize for my nose being plugged, but deal with it. Just kidding, but seriously. And I'm done.